The Honorable DOST Secretary for Research and Development, Yusek Rowena Cristina Guevara, our Executive Director, DOST Picard, Dr. Reynaldo Iborra, PHILARM President from the Romblon State University, Dr. Marian Mani, PHILARM officers, fellow research managers, R2D partners, and participants who are with us virtually. Pleasant and blessed morning to all. It is my privilege and honor to be speaking in front of esteemed research managers, researchers, and extension workers during this 5th International Research Development and Extension Management Congress and 30th National PhilArm Convention with the theme Managing RDE Towards Ensuring Food Security in the New Normal. BAR was tasked to share the post-pandemic research for development response for food security. So this morning, I will be sharing with you all the Bureau's programs and projects through our elevated R4D response for resilient agriculture and fishery food systems amid the pandemic. One of the major shifts the Bureau gave priority in these times of the pandemic is maximizing the use, adoption, and scaling of mature and adaptive technologies in support to food availability, accessibility, and affordability. Collaborations with various institutions and organizations were pursued to implement these initiatives from the DA national or regional offices to the academic partners and the private sectors with the 1DA reforms agenda of modernization, consolidation, industrialization, and professionalizations as the guiding principles of BAR programs adhere to. The Bureau of Agricultural Research was established to pursue its mandate to ensure that all agricultural research is well coordinated and undertaken for maximum utility to agriculture per Executive Order 116 series of 1987. To this, we have envisioned BAR as the lead research for development or R4D coordinating agency towards a technology-empowered agriculture and fisheries sectors, contributory to inclusive growth. Hence, our mission is to coordinate, integrate, fund, and manage the R4D system to ensure its optimum utility for the agriculture and fishery sectors. In line with the Department of Agriculture's vision of transforming the Philippine agriculture towards a food secure and resilient Philippines with prosperous and empowered farmers and fisherfolk, the 1DA reform agenda was crafted. The key strategies contributing to the 4 pillars of transformation are the following: consolidation, modernization, industrialization, and professionalization. With the Agriculture Department's vision of a food secure and resilient Philippines with empowered and prosperous farmers and fisherfolk, the DA BAR, as the National Research Coordinating Arm, has always been committed and supportive in the promotion and improvement of the agriculture fishery sector's growth. The Bureau aims to forward these undertakings through coordination, integration, and management of agriculture and fishery research for development system. Aiming for a food secure and resilient Philippines through the 1DA agenda and approaches, the DA BAR implements 3 major research for development strategies focusing on the 4 pillars under the 1DA reforms. And through various R4D programs and enabling systems as an immediate response to the call of the department to address pressing issues during the onset of the pandemic. The Bureau streamlined its R4D strategies to three major components. First, expanded production and post-production support. Second, intensified farming systems under the inclusive market-oriented development approaches. And third, expanded food products and technology upscaling. On these strategies, the Bureau's R4D programs and modalities were detailed. To organize, operationalize, realize, and maximize the results of the programs, tools, and mechanisms, such as the strategic planning and agenda setting, results-based monitoring and evaluation, strategic communication and partnership, and organizational development were also embedded. The next slide shows the inclusive and transformative R4DE framework highlights the Bureau's refocused thrust and priorities towards transformation of research to policies for development and extension. The framework highlights the need for scaling agricultural technologies to immediately realize its positive impact in the agriculture and fisheries sector. Anchored closely in the DA pillars and the key strategies as presented in the previous slides, R4D programs and strategies highlights first, better, or bringing and enhancing transformative technologies through R4D. These are programs focusing on developing innovations and technologies with farm and industry level application. The second key strategy is ANGAT, or accelerating and generating agripreneurship from technology-based opportunities. ANGAT incorporates technology, commercialization, and business incubation programs. The second strategy highlights the Bureau's programs to ensure sustainability and development of agriculture enterprises. And the last key strategy, we called it Big Keys, or boosting institutions for growth in knowledge and innovations for agriculture and fisheries sector. Big Keys highlights the Bureau's support and strengthening partnership and capacities and continuous development of the National Agriculture Research and Development staff member agencies. Overarching strategies with which to ensure efficient delivery of better, ANGAT, and Big Keys are strategic communication and R2P4DE approach. Equipped with all these strategies, outcomes would be an increase in innovative technologies, agriculture and fishery, and strengthen R4DE system. Ultimately, this will lead towards a technology-empowered agriculture and fishery sector contributory to inclusive growth. Personally, I am grateful for my recent appointment as DA Bar Director. Let me share with you the 8-point agenda on agri-fisheries research for development and extension, or R4DE. First, Agri-Fishery R4DE Vision 2050. We will be developing a document wherein we want to show our vision for agri-fisheries by 2050. The second one is the One Agri-Fishery R4DE system and agenda based on Executive Order 127 Series of 1999, known as the Council on Extension and Research and Development in Agriculture and Fisheries, or CERDAF. with the support and cooperation of other research institutions, including PICARD and other national research institutions of the country. We aim to come up with one agri-fishery R4DE system of the country. Third, it's about the Research for Development and Extension Strategic Plan 2020, from 2022 to 2027. Our existing strategic plan will be ending by next year. So ultimately, we want to update our strategic plan, targeting a 5-year plan, crafting our new programs, our enhanced approaches, as well as some of the innovative management that we want to pursue in the Department of Agriculture dealing with research for development. The number 4 is about the R2P4D, and I explained this approach in the previous slide, which is all about transforming research outputs to policy for development framework. The next is our plan to establish new R4D programs on top of our existing programs at DA Bar, wherein we are envisioning to strengthen our local as well as international cooperation through various programs such as Youth in Agriculture, Climate Change, Rain-Fed Agriculture, Rainwater Catchment, Future Farming, Precision Agriculture, among others. Number 6 is our plan to establish the research investment mapping and valuation of developed R4D technologies in the agriculture and fishery sectors that will be done in the whole country. Number 7 is all about the inclusive R4D planning, monitoring, and evaluation, which involve farmer experts as well as local government units extension workers, including entrepreneurs. And the last on the list, we wanted to have a scientific journal under the 1DA banner, or the Philippine Agriculture and Fishery Sciences Journal. This is just the suggested name of the journal that we wanted to establish under the Department of Agriculture through the ABAR. The research to policy for development and extension is an approach, as mentioned a while ago, which utilizes policies to develop sustainable technologies and products. It can be edible, marketable, and scalability. Creating more impacts, actively measuring outcomes of projects through results-based monitoring and evaluation. We outlined some of the activities or key highlights of this new approach of DA Bar on how we could realize the R2P4D approach, as well as some of the outputs that we wanted to realize with these new approaches. During the second quarter of 2021, BAR issued the call for proposals for fiscal year 2022 funding and implementation, and currently processing the proposals we have received based on their alignment with the memorandum issued recently. As part of the process, BAR screens the proposals based on the 3 basic questions. Is it needed or beneficial to the farmer or fisher folk? Is it scalable? Because we are aiming to scale out or scale up our technologies or products that our implementing agencies may be developed. And third, can it be partnered with investors or private sectors? Projects on the development of improved protocols processes, and techniques, or we call it proof of concept, should be presented. This can be done by presenting an adaptability plan, how it will be utilized or adapted, and also as reference or basis that this is a need of the sector or industry. The effectiveness of the technology on the commodities is measured in terms of cost reduction from production up to consumption, as well as increasing competitiveness of the products. The proponents should indicate in the proposal their counterpart, whether in cash or in kind. This establishes a shared ownership and shared responsibility between BAR and the implementing agencies. BAR highlighted in the call for proposals issued the priorities identified based on the needs of the industry, its level of urgency, and degree of scalability. BAR has started to restructure the way it is accepting proposals and should be based on what we want to resolve and what are the challenges that we would like to researchers to tackle. This shall be done in a competitive way wherein the interested researchers would submit proposals based on the call and budget allotted. To give you some figures as far as our fiscal year 2022 research grants, of the 409 million total budget allocated, 160 million or 58% goes to BAR regular R4D and 42% amounting to 118 million goes to biotech R4D grants. BAR has largest allocation for TBI, which is close to 27% of the total allocation R4D grants for BAR regular, while biotech for R4D or crops alone has a total of around 49 or 50% of the total allocation as grant for biotech. Here is the budget breakdown by R4D category and by office, or meaning to say the offices in charge by these commodities under the Department of Agriculture. For crops, the total amount is around 89 million or 30%. 19% is allocated for livestock and for poultry, and 18% for institutional development in support to sustain R4D capacities, 15% for technology business incubation, 8% for product or byproduct development, 7% for aquaculture, as well as captured fisheries, and the remaining 3% is allocated for integrated and diversified farming system. BAR likewise handles the R4D budget coming from the DA banner programs. Of the 412 million pesos as total budget allocation for 2022, rice has the highest budget allocation amounting to 194 million, or that is 48% of the total budget allocation for R4D banner programs. And the least program under this R4D banner program is livestock, which is only 0.2% or 1 million pesos of the total budget allocation for next year. In closing, DA BAR will continue its strategic directions to support the implementation of the Research to Policy for Development and Extension towards achieving the overall goal of the Department of Food Secure and Resilient Philippines. Thank you very much for listening. Again, we thank and congratulate the officers, the organizer, active members of the Philippine Association of Research Managers in the country for organizing this fully online research convention despite the year nearly coming to an end. We are granted still the opportunity to be instrumental in creating awareness as well as sharing with you what our programs at the Department of Agriculture, particularly at Bureau of Agricultural Research. We look forward to future partnerships on innovative and needs-based research for development for the Filipino farmers and fishers. Maraming salamat po.